Oswego, where I measured 8 inches about 2 hours ago. So right now, yep, that's about 8 inches right here. Yep. Look how far my thumb is down. Yep, that's about, yeah, that's about a foot of snow. Oh my God, we got a foot here. Oh, it's grass. Okay, grass is about, let's see, how much would it be to the top of the grass? Okay, I'm over the grass. About 12 inches. Yeah, about a foot. Yeah, it's about a foot of snow here. It's just about, yep, definitely about a foot. We got a foot of snow. And this is mostly fresh snow. Mostly fresh. So I would say about 11 inches of fresh snow. This snowpack is about a foot deep. I'll take about a half an inch off because there was about a half inch of snow here from some of the lake effect. There was about a half an inch of snow on top, so about 11 to 12 inches. I'm just gonna round it up to a foot. Yeah, and Syracuse, Oswego 8 inches here, closer to 12. But I'm gonna try to get away from. I'm trying to move away. Try to see, is this continuing? Whoa! This is deep. And yeah, this is not. Trying to go more in the middle. Okay, it definitely feels like. Okay, I'm trying to get a good feel. So I'm more in the middle here of the snowpack, trying to get away from where they might have plowed it. And I don't have a ruler, unfortunately, so this is going to be kind of difficult. But I already know that the top of my thumb is about 8 inches. So, because I measured it with a ruler, so that's a good point of reference. Yep, about a foot. Let's see. Yep. About 11, 12 inches, I would say. Definitely above, definitely double digit. Definitely not single digit. So we got double digit snowfall here in Syracuse. Definitely more than forecast. It's mostly because of the fluff factor. I mean, this snow is kind of compact. Like, it is, like, see, I could kind of make a snowball, but it's not really forming together. It's not like perfect snowball snow, because, see, I'm trying to make one, but it's kind of crumbly. So, about a foot of snow. Just a little under a foot here in Syracuse from Winter Storm Ember. Not Amber, Ember. So, yeah, about a foot. I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but that's a pretty big pile over there. And the roads were not pre-treated last night. So it was very, very bad. Even on the main roads were not pre-treated. They plowed the roads, but after the roads became very slick and very snow-covered. Because while the roads were snow-covered, it wasn't a huge amount of snow. It was a thin coating of snow on the roads. And that, you know, a lot of cars would have trouble getting traction, because when you have a big snow cover, traction is good. But when it just starts snowing, when the snow is just freshly fallen and it's in a thin coating, it's very hard for cars to get traction because the snow is not compact. And so, yeah, you got trouble with traction. So it's kind of like driving on like mud, basically. Very poor traction. And when I was driving up someone's driveway because it was a long driveway, and there wasn't a lot of snow on it. There was only snow at the end of the driveway. And what ended up happening was that I had to weasel my way out. I had to go in reverse, go halfway down the driveway, and then make sure there was no cars coming on either side. And then I had to get a running start. And basically, then I had to essentially quickly then drive up the driveway, not stop, slow down to a creep, make sure my front wheels were off the snow, and then continue. That's how I was able to get out of that driveway. And it was only like a thin coating of snow. And also the driveway kind of had an upward momentum to it. And that, when you're, it's almost impossible to go up a hill that is snow covered. You've seen those videos where cars are sliding down the road, trying to get up a snow-covered hill. Because those car tires, especially in Seattle, Washington, that very rarely gets snow because it's in the lowest elevations, gets most of its air off the Pacific. But like in Europe, when you get those east winds, when you get those north and east winds, combining with Pacific moisture, you can get some pretty good snows. Nothing like this, but because they're not used to it, roads aren't really treated, and then bam, you get snow, bam, and yeah, so it's kind of tricky, especially when it comes towards winter weather. Winter weather can be very tricky, especially if you don't have the right tires, right equipment. So about a foot of snow here in Syracuse. It's a light snow right now, very light. Visibility is about, I would say, 2 miles at least. 2 mile visibility, 2 miles. Where do you expect me to walk? Over there? Anyway, I'm going to the diner before my train in New York City is due. So yeah, the roads here are mainly slushy, which is good. But also that could be a problem with some cars to get traction up, especially if you don't have winter tires. If you have regular or ball tires, you're going up a hill, almost a guarantee you're not going to make it up that hill. Even that hill could be kind of tricky. Even though it's small, especially if you have a two-wheel drive vehicle, whether it's front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, and you don't have winter tires, good luck getting up that hill. Especially last night. In fact, there was a van that was actually off the road. I'm pretty sure it was one of my vans. Not my vans, but like one of the Amazon vans. It was a rental. But considering the time it was and where it was heading from, it was probably heading towards the Amazon warehouse. He was probably driving, and they probably lost control because those vans are, one, two-wheel drive, and not all of them had winter tires, so probably they just lost traction. It probably wasn't even the driver's fault. He probably was going a little too fast, so maybe it was his fault. But it didn't look like he was damaged. But but yeah, there was a tow truck there probably trying to get the car out of the ditch. Oof. Oh, there we go. Anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go for now. That was definitely probably a big truck. I heard rumbling down the road. Now it's over there. Probably a big semi. So this is Winter Storm Ember here in Syracuse. Snow is starting to wind down. There might be another snow burst, but most of the snow now is heading east of town. Approximately about 11 to 12 inches have fallen here in town. About 8 or 9, about closer to 9 inches now in Oswego, I believe. So yeah, definitely a little bit more to the south of Oswego, but basically snowfall totals were more than expected, which definitely makes me happy. This is the most snow I've seen in a pretty long time. It's been 2 years since I've seen this much snow. And yeah, and I was here last year in January. The biggest storm I saw last season, I think, was about 6 or 7 inches from a coastal system. And it barely gave New York City any snow. It actually gave New York City the biggest snowfall of the year, which was barely an inch. I think it was like, and even then, last winter was a complete disaster for New York City. It was New York City's least snowiest winter on record by a long shot. Barely an inch of snow. I mean, yeah, New York City saw some snow, but the least ever, like barely an inch. There was no plowable snow. That's probably good. That was probably good news for the Department of Sanitation, for the city's snow removal budget. Probably barely spent anything. And it looks like this year might be different. It's not going to be I'm not saying New York City's going to break any records. I'm not expecting any records to be broken in New York for snow. But I think this year will be more closer to average for snowfall, considering that there might be some major coastal storms coming up because the North Atlantic Oscillation right now is going negative. So there's going to be potential for some major snow towards the middle end of January and beginning of February. So towards the end of January, we should see some potentially major storms in New York, especially between the 15th of January and the 25th of January. In that 10-day period, there's a potential for some pretty big snows. And yeah, so I'm gonna make another video later. Andy out. Let me see if anyone replied. Okay, no messages. Okay, chat. Nope. Connected chat. I pretty much know who's watching, but I'm not gonna guess who. I just know. Anyway, thank you for watching. That one person.